Jensen, Technical Editor of Power and Motion, and today I'll be speaking with DJ O'Connick, Engineering Manager at Knott Company, about developments in full electric and electro-hydraulic systems. What would you say would be maybe some of the key factors that should be kept in mind or taken into consideration when developing either full electric or hybrid electric systems or electro-hydraulic systems?
I mean, honestly, the biggest factor, whether that's a hydroelectric or electro-hydraulic system or a full electric system, is efficiency. Everybody is relying on batteries on the vehicles when you're doing this, and it's not like you can run down to the gas station, get a can of electrons to pour into it. So efficiency becomes key to get the runtime that's required. Next is really understanding the customer's requirements when it comes to runtime. So that's when you're going through sizing the batteries and everything for the system, that's one huge detail. The other thing is the duty cycle. A lot of these machines have existed in the market for a long period of time. And so lots of the OEMs don't understand truly what their customers are doing with these machines. So going through analyzing the duty cycles so that you know where the power is being consumed. Another thing that a lot of people don't think about is there access to charging? What type of charging is available? And are their customers going to want an onboard charger, or are they going to have access to offboard chargers as well? So that's all kinds of little details like that.
Right. Okay. When you mentioned keeping efficiency in mind before, what would be some ways that people should go about ensuring their efficiency is good, or what on the technology side should they be doing?
The biggest thing is just taking a look at the components you're using in your system. I mean, as long as you have the budget, going to higher efficiency hydraulic pumps, making sure that you don't have a bunch of parasitic losses just to energy being consumed in other areas you weren't expecting. So it's just going through all those details that a lot of people haven't looked at in years.
Okay. All right. And so are there maybe any specific use cases or examples you could share for how electro-hydraulic systems in particular are being implemented within the industry, and what are maybe some of the benefits that can be achieved through using those types of systems?
Yeah, no, we actually have a really good example. We have a customer who did an electro-hydraulic system and a full electric system on pretty much identical machines. So we were able to compare the original hydraulically powered with internal combustion engine to an electro-hydraulic system run with a battery and a full electric system run with a battery. And in both cases, it resulted in an overall reduction in the total cost of ownership. The downside is there's typically a higher upfront cost tied to that, though. And the reduction is mostly due to maintenance and the cost of charging versus fuel. The full electric, although even more expensive than the electro-hydraulic up front, actually decreased the total cost of ownership further due to even the reduction of the maintenance by removing the hydraulic system from the vehicle as well. The other great thing about both versions is we have access to information that we didn't typically have before, because a lot of these components come with integrated sensors. So we get to take that data and we can optimize the performance of the machine to get better performance than it historically had as well.
Okay. And so are you able to go into detail a little bit at all about what would be like an electro-hydraulic system? What would be some of the main components involved in that type of a system?
So, I mean, with the electro-hydraulic system, typically you'll have the battery, a primary mover. We end up using a lot of AC motors, DC motors. It really depends on the application. Typically close coupled to a hydraulic pump. And then depending on how we're doing the application, it can either be a pressure comp pump or a fixed displacement pump. And from there, in the electro-hydraulic one, it'd be all of your traditional components downline of that. With the full electric, all of that stays the same, except you end up with multiple electric motors distributed across the machine rather than it feeding into the hydraulic pump in the beginning and then doing all the valving and actuators after that.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. And so, what have been maybe some of the challenges you guys have either seen in the industry or you yourselves have experienced as you've been working on these types of systems?
I mean, the one thing is finding good suppliers out there. There's been a huge influx in the market of people providing motors, controllers, different batteries, and teaming up with a good partner. And a partner that has some history and experience. With the influx of all of these new components, it's getting tougher and tougher to find out who you need to partner with to get the results you're looking for. The other thing is the battery technology and costs themselves. The battery is always the highest driving factor for cost on these vehicles. I've yet to work with a customer on this that hasn't been shocked when they see how much the batteries are going to cost on their vehicle. Yeah. And so then you have to go through and explain to them the total cost of ownership rather than just looking at the upfront cost. And then you have to teach them well enough to explain that to their customers as well. Mm-hmm. So it can be, there's a lot of learning for every party involved.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Sounds like it. So are you guys trying to help educate the industry in any way, or what are you guys doing to maybe help overcome that, especially that particular challenge?
So we're involved with the NFPA on their task force, going through all of this so that can help educate all their members. We're involved in several committees with SAE as well. So we're, at least Knot Company as a whole, we're trying to provide the information we have to everybody else out there. So this can be an easier transition for them than what we had to go through.
Well, thank you so much for joining me today and providing your insights into the full electric and electro-hydraulic technologies and kind of where they're headed.